Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves. Today I was able to go over to Heman's and pick up these two beautiful Philodendron Gloriosum. And since Philodendron Gloriosum are my favorite plants, I thought that I would pick up two while they had them in stock and kind of combine them to make one really awesome large statement plant. Both of these plants are kind of busting out of their pots right now. So I'm going to put them into a 14-inch pot. I'm going to kind of combine them and have them side by side and kind of fill out the plant to have just a really, really awesome statement plant. So I have already put my ProMix soil in the pot here. This is not the pot that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this pot. But I put the soil in here and I'm going to show you guys what I mix in here to make a really great mixture for my plants. I just realized I forgot the perlite over here. I have half a bowl of the ProMix soil in here. So I'm gonna add another little bit of perlite. I don't really have exact measurements for this. I'm just gonna put a good amount because there's a lot of soil in here. And this is my mixing stick. I'm gonna mix this around, and then when I put the soil in the pot, I'm actually just gonna use an old nursery pot. So it has enough perlite for my liking. Next up, I'm going to use some horticultural charcoal. Charcoal. All right. All right, so we're just gonna mix this in. And then we're gonna use some orchid bark. This really helps with drainage, and it also helps to create an airier mixture for your plants. So I like to use a lot of orchid bark. We'll amend it if we have to as we go. So this is looking really chunky and really airy, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So if you see a lot of soil, you probably need to add some more orchid bark or some more charcoal. Perlite is also great. If you can't get your hands on orchid bark or charcoal, perlite and soil will do just fine, but they definitely will prefer an airier mixture to prevent root rot. This is what I like my mixture to look like before I start potting up. It's really chunky, and I think the plant is really going to love it. All right, so now is the tricky part because I have to get these plants out of their pots and kind of positioned in the pot how I want it. We'll get these bags out of the way. So I guess the first thing that I'll do actually is put a little bit of this in the bottom of the pot so that it has a base layer. I'm just gonna take my hands for now. So this here, you can see, is busting out of this pot. That's why we're going to get it out of it ASAP. You wanna be careful not to disturb the roots too much, but just push on the pot a little bit and see if you can wiggle it out. I'm really curious to see the root system on these guys actually. All right, so I'm just going to kind of loosen the soil a little bit. I don't want to mess up the roots too much, but I am going to get rid of some of it here. They do look like really healthy roots though, so actually I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of these. These look like really healthy roots, so I'm really happy. There might be a little bit of rot, but I will cut that off and it'll be no problem. You can see this guy's trunk or stolon is very large. It must have come from a really large plant. This one is ready. Okay, so we're now going to get the second guy out of the pot here. Do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Kind of loosen up the root ball a little bit. Again, these look like really, really healthy roots. This one's root ball is slightly more compact. I'm gonna leave this just as is and not try to disturb it too much. All right, so now comes the fun part. I get to kind of design how I want to have this in the pot. If you guys didn't already know, you actually have to keep the stolon above the soil level. So some of this can stick down in the soil, but you want to keep this part above the soil. This stolon here will rot if it does go below the soil eventually over time. All right, so I know how I want them positioned now. I'm going to put one aside and start filling in about half of the pot, and then I'll bring the second one in and start filling in that area. Another tip when repotting Philodendron Gloriosum is you want to actually keep the part that the oldest growth is closest to on the closest to the edge of the pot, basically, because this is where it's going to grow out of, and you want it to be able to continue growing a little bit before it hits the edge of this pot. So I'm going to start filling this up now. All right, so we're actually already ready for the second plant. This is going quicker than I expected. Once I'm done potting this up, I'll show you guys the angle that I'm hoping to have this at. I actually did a pretty good job of mixing this all the way to the bottom. I'm pretty happy. It's okay, they're not holding right here. I'm just gonna be set up. This is going to be a very heavy pot after this. It was already heavy empty, so.
You didn't need me.
No.
I did this for nothing?
What do you mean? No, I need you for, you did that on your own. I literally just asked you to get your sunglasses. That was all on you. The sleeve's the only issue, but it'll kind of work its way out.
Look how close the two are. Is that what you wanted?
It's better there. All right, we are all ready to reveal what this plant is going to look like all together. Alright guys, that is it. This is the Philodendron Gloriosum all potted up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that button down below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up as well. If you guys enjoyed this outdoor video, let me know. I can definitely do more videos outside and in nature. But that is going to be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!